Hello everybody, AnChairGuy here. Today I'll talk about all the different features I've added to my fast-paced Metroidvania to get it ready for a playtester demo. This is the third video in the series, and I recommend watching the other videos in the series for more context about the game. Now, onto the video. Similar to other games like Hollow Knight, I wanted to have a room system. I made a base room scene that has every default setting for every room in the game, like the tile set and room size. Doing the math and code was kind of hard because I wanted the minimum size to be the same size as a 1920 1080 screen size, until I changed it to Godot's default 1148 by 684. Once that was finished, I needed a way to transition from one room to another. This challenge made making the room look like making a simple button. The screen would always flash before the screen transition started, but after hours of hard work, I did it. It was amazing to be able to move from room to room seamlessly. At first I made code to keep the player's state and jump height to make the rooms feel more connected, but I realized I wanted the room to feel connected via hallways, so I removed that piece of code. After all these problems after problems, making up and down transitions were easy. Another feature I really wanted for the demo is money. When you destroy a breakable block, you have a chance to get some money. If you destroy an enemy, they drop more. After the demo, I would probably make a shop where you can buy different color swaps and items that give bonuses if equipped. Maybe even after a boss you get a lot of money. I'm still thinking about that. With these new rooms, I made a better camera system with look ahead. For those who don't know, look ahead is when a camera moves a bit in front of the character, so you know what's happening in front of you. When making the camera, I realized this is a good time to make movement better. I added a speed boost on the ground and halved horizontal speed when going into the air. This makes movement overall better, but ground pounding doesn't have as much speed as normal. Instead of fixing this, I kept it. It's not a bug, it's a feature. After this point, I just made more and more mechanics that would be nice for the demo. From the last video, you can notice there was only one enemy in the whole level. This is because when hitting enemies, all of them played a hit animation. I tried fixing this by making the animation local to the scene on the base enemy scene, but this didn't work. I tried everything, searching up on Google about how to fix this. I tried libraries, but that didn't work either. This became even more of a problem because I started using layers, so the player and enemies can't run into money drops. The enemy would just fall out of the map. Then I realized the walker enemy wasn't part of the base enemy. This means I didn't copy the scene to make the enemy. Fixing this fixed everything, and it felt so good to fix this. But what is really the point of enemies if you can't die to them? So I made checkpoints that save the checkpoint scene and position. When the player dies, you respawn at the checkpoint scene and position. The transitions worked almost automatically. On the hype of fixing enemies, I added a new type of enemy. I call them jumpers. They do what the name says, jump. But one problem with this room system is the respawning of breakables and enemies. So I made a list of, let's call them keys. That'll save the object's position and scene. When the object is loaded and ready, it will check if its position and scene are a key in the list. If there is one, destroy the object right away. Otherwise, spawn as normal. This was one of the only things that worked mostly the first time. The final feature that I believed I need, the bare minimum of this demo, is dialogue. I am 100% sure that every time I spelled dialogue, I spelled it D-I-A-U-O-U-G-E, swapping the U and G. The dialogue system is simple. I have a list of names of different dialogues, and each name has a value which is the actual dialogue. When the dialogue is activated, it takes a string, which is the dialogue name, and finds the real dialogue using that list. I also made a dialogue area that plays dialogue. Simple. The last real thing I added were slopes and semi-solids. Slopes were pretty easy to make in Godot, working like the first time for me. Semi-solids were harder though. Semi-solids are platforms where the player can jump from the bottom but can't fall down from the top. The real problem is the fact that in Godot, you only set a tile's one-way direction up, but I wanted all four directions. After more Google searches, I ended up making a new scene for both types of semi-solids. Both? Yeah. The first you can drop down if you press down. The second one you cannot drop down from. After this, it was over. Many random bug fixes later, and I'm pretty much ready to start making the demo. I made a small part of the demo so far, so here it is. That's all for now. Make sure you watch the first 2 videos and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!